Welcome to Group 4 podcast. I am Angelica Silis Jotin, the moderator for Group 4 podcast session. Today, we will discuss an important topic in cell biology, which is cell respiration in mitochondria. Joining me, they have three other panelists. Could you briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Nurjazatina binti Muhammad. It's great to be here.
My name is Muhammad Rizbazri. I'm really excited to join this discussion.
My name is Ben Amos Simon. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I would like to ask panelist 1, which is Nadila, to share what is cellular respiration.
Cellular respiration is a metabolic process that allows cells to release energy from glucose and other organic molecules. The energy release is in ATP, which acts as the cell's energy currency.
Thank you for the great answer, panelist 1. We often hear that ATP is being called the cell energy currency. So, why is ATP actually very important?
Well, ATP is important because ATP provides energy for almost every cellular activity, including muscle contraction, active transport, cells membrane, protein synthesis, cells division, and nerve impulse transmission. Therefore, without ATP, cells would not be able to function correctly.
So, do you think that cellular respiration is basically the process that powers life itself?
That's right. Cellular respiration provides the ATP that cells need to perform their daily activity. In a way, it's like a power station that keeps living organism running.
Now that we already discussed about cellular respiration and how the cell produces energy through cellular respiration, I would like to ask panelist 2 Razif to explain the structure of mitochondria. Can you explain?
So for the first one is outer membrane. This smooth membrane that surrounds the organelle and control what leaves and enter the mitochondria. So for the second is the inner membrane. So for the inner membrane, it's highly folded that is called a cristia. It's used for increasing the surface area available for energy production. So for the third is matrix. The matrix is the fluid-filled space enclosed by the inner membrane. It's contain enzyme involved in important stage of cellular respiration. And the last one is intermembrane space. This is the space between the outer and inner membrane, where hydrogen ions accumulates during ATP production.
Thank you for the great answer. It seems like the crystal is very important. Why do you think the crystal is important?
The folds create a larger space area for the proteins to involve in the electron transport chains and ATP synthesis. More surface area means more ATP can be produced efficiently.
Many people think that DNA is only found in the nucleus, but is it true that mitochondria have their own DNA as well?
Correct. Mitochondria have its own DNA in ribosome, and it supports the theory that they live in ancient bacteria. That the process is called symbiosis.
Alright, let's move on to the next questions. I would like to ask panelist 3, Ben, to answer my question. Can you share what is the main stage of cellular respiration?
Cellular respiration consists of three major stages: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, also known as citric acid cycle, and electron transport chain. Let's discuss each one. For stage 1, the glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm outside the mitochondria. During glycolysis, one glucose molecule is broken down into two pyruvate molecules. A small amount of ATP is produced, then NADH, an electron carrier, is generated. The net gain is 2 ATP, 2 NADH, then 2 pyruvate molecules.
From panelist 3 Ben, explanation about the stage of cellular respiration, glycolysis is the first stage of cellular respirations. Does glycolysis happen before the materials enter the mitochondria?
Exactly. The pyruvate molecules then enter the mitochondria for the next stage.
Panelist 3, can you explain more what happens once the pyruvate enter the mitochondria?
For stage 2, the Krebs cycle, inside the mitochondrial matrix, pyruvate is converted into acetyl-CoA and enters the Krebs cycle. It breaks down acetyl-CoA completely, then releases carbon dioxide as a waste product. It produces NADH and FADH2, also generates a small amount of ATP. For one glucose molecule, the Krebs cycle produces 2 ATP, 6 NADH, 2 FADH2, and 4 carbon dioxide.
From your explanation just now, you have mentioned about NADH and FADH2. Can you share why NADH and FADH2 is very important?
They act as electron carriers. They transport high-energy electrons to the final stage of cellular respiration.
So this is where most of the ATP is produced, right?
Yes, the electron transport chain occurs on the inner mitochondrial membrane. And here I'm going to explain the stage 3, the electron transport chain. Here how it works. NADH and FADH2 donate electrons, and as the electrons move through a series of protein complexes, the energy released from these electrons pumps hydrogen ions into the intermembrane space. This creates a concentration gradient. Then the hydrogen ions flow back through an enzyme called ATP synthase. ATP synthase uses this energy to produce ATP. Then oxygen serves as the final electron acceptor and combines with hydrogen ions to form water.
Panelist 3, can you tell us how much ATP is produced during electron transport chain stage?
Approximately 32 to 34 ATP molecules are generated here, making it the most productive stage of cellular respiration.
Ladies and gentlemen, cellular respiration is very important to living organisms. So, let's hear from panelist 1 Nadila why cellular respiration is very important to living organisms.
That's right. Cellular respiration provides the ATP that cells need to perform their daily activity. In a way, it's like a power station that keeps living organisms running.
It also supports growth and repair. The cells needs ATP to synthesize protein, divide, and to maintain the normal function.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to summarize what we have learned and listened from the 3 panelists today. Cellular respiration is the process by which cells convert glucose into ATP, the energy currency of life. Most of this process occur in the mitochondria, which contain specialized structure, which is matrix and cristae. This structure support efficient energy production. The process involves 3 major stages, which is glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain, ETP. This stage produces the ATP needed for virtually every cellular activity. Question 1. How does cellular respiration affect the athletic performance during exercise?
cellular respiration plays a crucial role in athletic performance. This is because muscles require a large amount of ATP during physical activities. During intense exercise, the rate of cellular respiration will increase to meet the energy demands. If the oxygen becomes insufficient, muscle cells will switch to anaerobic respiration, which would lead a lesser amount of ATP and may lead to a muscle fatigue.
Question 2. Why do scientists believe that mitochondria evolved from ancient bacteria?
Scientists support the endosymbiotic because of mitochondria had a similar to bacteria and it have a own DNA and own ribosomes and it can replicate independently within cells. These features suggest that mitochondria were once free living bacteria that formed a symbiotic relationship with natural eukaryotic cells.
Question 3. How might mitochondrial dysfunction affect human health?
Mitochondrial dysfunction can reduce ATP production, causing cell and tissue to function less efficiently. This can contribute to various health conditions, including muscle weakness, neurological disorders, and certain metabolic diseases. Since many organs require large amounts of energy, impaired with mitochondria can significantly affect overall health.
Question 5. How could environmental factors influence cellular respiration?
Environmental factors such as oxygen availability, temperature, and nutrient supplies that can affect the rate of cellular respiration. For example, low oxygen can reduce ATP production, while extreme temperature may interfere with enzyme activity involved in respiration.
Question 6. Can cellular respiration occur in plants as well as animals?
Yes, both plants and animals perform cellular respiration. Although plants produce glucose through photosynthesis, they still need cellular respiration to convert that glucose into ATP, which is used for growth, transport, and other cellular activities.
Question 7. What will happen to ecosystem if cellular respiration did not occur?
Without cellular respiration, organisms would not be able to release energy from food. As a result, essential life process would stop, leading to the collapse of blood chains and ecosystem. Cellular respiration is fundamental to sustaining the life on Earth.
Question 8. How future scientific research on mitochondria will benefit society?
Future research may help scientists better understanding disease linked to mitochondrial dysfunction and develop new treatment. This may also improve our knowledge of aging, metabolisms, and energy production, leading to advance in the medicines and biotechnology.
Before we end the podcast session, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the panelists for their thoughtful response and great explanation for the topic today, which is cellular respiration in mitochondria. Today's discussion has highlighted not only how cellular respiration works, but also its significance in health, evolution, and everyday life. Thank you everyone for watching and listening to our podcast.